In 1985, a Soviet research vessel named the Akademik Fedorov was conducting routine surveys in Antarctic waters when the crew pulled up something from the deep that made them question everything they knew about marine biology. It was a sea spider, but not like any spider you've ever seen. This thing had legs spanning over 30 inches, nearly 3 feet across. Its body was the size of a dinner plate, and it moved slowly, almost mechanically, like something from another world. The scientists couldn't believe it. Sea spiders in warmer oceans are tiny, usually less than an inch wide. But in the Antarctic, they grow to impossible sizes. And this wasn't just one strange mutation. This was the norm. The Antarctic Ocean is home to some of the largest creatures on Earth. Squids bigger than school buses, jellyfish with tentacles longer than blue whales, sponges taller than humans, and worms that can live for centuries. But here's the thing that makes absolutely no sense. Cold water should make animals smaller, not bigger. Every rule of biology says that colder temperatures slow metabolism, reduce food availability, and limit growth. So why does the Antarctic Ocean produce giants? To understand this mystery, we need to descend through Antarctic waters, starting from the icy surface and working our way down to the pitch-black depths. At each level, I'll show you creatures that shouldn't exist, organisms that broke every biological rule to survive in the coldest ocean on Earth. We'll encounter worms that eat whale bones. We'll find sponges older than the Roman Empire. And we'll discover the true heavyweight champion of the deep, a creature so massive, it makes giant squids look small. This is the Antarctic Peninsula, and we're starting in the shallow coastal waters, about 50 to 100 meters deep. The water temperature here hovers around minus 1.8 degrees Celsius, just barely above freezing. And yet, life thrives. One of the first giants you'd encounter here is the Antarctic giant isopod. Now, if you've ever flipped over a rock in your backyard and seen a pillbug, you know what an isopod is. Those tiny armored creatures that curl into balls when threatened. But in the Antarctic, isopods don't stay tiny. The Antarctic giant isopod can grow up to 20 inches long, nearly 2 feet of armored crustacean crawling along the seafloor. That's about 50 times larger than a normal pillbug. They're scavengers, feeding on dead fish, whale carcasses, and anything else that sinks to the bottom. And because the cold water slows their metabolism, they can survive for months without eating. One captive giant isopod went over 5 years without food before it finally died. Though scientists still aren't sure if it starved or just died of old age. But isopods aren't the strangest giants in these shallow waters. Meet the Antarctic sea spider. Unlike true spiders, sea spiders are marine arthropods that feed by stabbing their prey with a long proboscis and sucking out their insides. In most oceans, they're barely noticeable, usually less than an inch across. But in the Antarctic, they become monsters. Some species reach leg spans of over 12 inches, and the largest recorded specimen had legs stretching nearly 30 inches across. Their bodies are so thin and spindly that they look like animated skeletons moving through the water. And here's the truly bizarre part. Their legs are so large that their internal organs don't fit inside their bodies anymore. Their guts, reproductive organs, even parts of their digestive system extend into their legs. It's like evolution said, you need to be bigger, but your body design doesn't allow it, so we'll just put your organs in your limbs instead. This is where the gigantism effect really starts to feel wrong. These creatures aren't just scaled-up versions of their warm water cousins. They're fundamentally different, anatomically bizarre, pushing the limits of what arthropod bodies can even do. Now we are descending deeper, past 200 meters into the mesopelagic zone of Antarctic waters. The light is fading, the temperature is dropping even further, and the giants are getting bigger. This is where you'll find the Antarctic jellyfish, specifically a species called the lion's mane jellyfish. In warmer oceans, lion's mane jellyfish are already impressive, with bells reaching about 3 feet across. But in the Antarctic, they grow to truly monstrous sizes. The largest lion's mane jellyfish ever recorded had a bell over 7 feet in diameter and tentacles stretching over 120 feet long, longer than a blue whale, the largest animal on Earth. Think about that for a second. A jellyfish, an organism that's 95% water with no brain, no bones, and no real organs, grows longer than the biggest whale species. These tentacles aren't just for show either. They're covered in thousands of stinging cells called nematocysts. When prey touches them, these cells fire microscopic harpoons filled with venom. The jellyfish doesn't hunt actively. It just drifts through the water with its massive net of tentacles trailing behind, waiting for something to swim into the trap. And because Antarctic waters are so rich in nutrients, there's always something swimming nearby. But jellyfish aren't the only giants drifting through these depths. There are also Antarctic sponges, and these might be the most shocking giants of all. Sponges are some of the simplest animals on Earth. They don't have brains, hearts, or even digestive systems. They just sit on the ocean floor, filter water through their bodies, and extract nutrients. In most oceans, sponges grow slowly and stay relatively small. But in the Antarctic, they become massive. Some Antarctic sponges grow over 6 feet tall, taller than most humans, and weigh several hundred pounds. And here's the truly insane part. These sponges grow so slowly that scientists estimate some of them are over 1,500 years old. That means there are sponges alive today in Antarctic waters that were already growing when the Roman Empire fell. They were here before Columbus sailed to the Americas. They were here before the Renaissance, the Industrial Revolution, both world wars. These sponges have been sitting on the ocean floor, silently filtering water, for over a millennium. If you like this video, give it a like so YouTube can recommend it to even more people. And if you're watching on your phone, don't forget to tap the hype button down below. Now we're descending into the bathypelagic zone, the midnight zone where sunlight never reaches. This is where the Antarctic Ocean's most famous giant lives. The colossal squid. You've probably heard of the giant squid, the legendary creature that inspired stories of krakens dragging ships to the bottom of the sea. Giant squids are massive, growing up to 45 feet long and weighing around 500 pounds. But the colossal squid makes the giant squid look small. The colossal squid lives exclusively in Antarctic waters, deeper and colder than anywhere giant squids venture, and it's built like a tank. While giant squids are long and sleek, built for speed, colossal squids are short and incredibly heavy. Their tentacles aren't just lined with suction cups like giant squids. They are covered in rotating hooks, sharp, three-pointed hooks that swivel 360 degrees, designed to dig into prey and never let go. Their eyes are the size of soccer balls, the largest eyes in the animal kingdom, evolved to capture every possible photon of light in the pitch-black depths. And their beak, made of chitin harder than most metals, can slice through steel cable. The colossal squid isn't just a giant. It's a perfectly evolved ambush predator for the coldest, darkest waters on Earth. But here's the truly fascinating part. The colossal squid and the giant squid aren't even closely related. They evolved completely separately in different oceans under different conditions. Yet somehow, both became massive. Giant squids evolved in temperate open oceans through deep-sea gigantism. Colossal squids evolved in the Antarctic through polar gigantism. They got hit with a double dose of gigantism effects, and the result is a creature so massive it seems impossible. But even the colossal squid has a predator: the sperm whale. These massive whales dive to incredible depths, sometimes over 10,000 feet, to hunt colossal squids in the darkness. and the battles that take place are legendary. Scientists have found sperm whales with circular scars covering their heads, scars that perfectly match the suction cups and hooks of colossal squids. Some whales have been found with squid beaks lodged in their flesh, evidence of fights that went badly for the whale. Think about that. Sperm whales are among the largest predators on Earth, weighing up to 45 tons. And yet, colossal squids are capable of fighting back, of leaving permanent scars, of occasionally winning these battles. Now, you might be wondering, why does the Antarctic Ocean create giants? What is it about these freezing waters that causes animals to grow so massive? The answer lies in something called polar gigantism. It's related to deep-sea gigantism, but with an extra twist. In cold water, oxygen dissolves more easily. Antarctic waters are incredibly oxygen-rich compared to warmer oceans. Animals with high oxygen availability can support larger body sizes because their cells can get more oxygen even without complex circulatory systems. Cold water also slows metabolism. Animals in the Antarctic grow slowly, reproduce slowly, and live longer. Longer lifespans mean more time to grow. And finally, cold water creates a stable environment. Antarctic temperatures don't fluctuate much. The water stays near freezing year-round. This stability allows species to specialize and evolve over millions of years without sudden environmental changes disrupting their adaptations. But here's the catch. Polar gigantism has limits. The deeper you go in Antarctic waters, the harder it becomes for even giants to survive. Food becomes scarce, pressure increases, and eventually, even the Antarctic Ocean runs out of space for monsters. Which of these Antarctic giants do you find most terrifying? Is it the sea spider with organs in its legs, crawling across the ocean floor like something from a nightmare? The lion's mane jellyfish with tentacles longer than blue whales, drifting silently through the water? Or the colossal squid, the true heavyweight champion of the deep, with rotating hooks and eyes the size of soccer balls? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this journey into Antarctic gigantism as fascinating and terrifying as I did, make sure you're subscribed, because next week I'm diving into another Antarctic mystery that will change how you think about evolution forever. Did you like this video? Don't forget to hit the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. And remember, the colder the water, the stranger it gets.